Yeah. I haven't made a video for a long time, but I thought I'd better make one because of this. This is a bamboo bench. So I got given this by my friend Bernd Stoesslein in Germany a few years ago. So Bernd is the maker of the bamboo bench. At the time, it was very high priced, but I'm pleased to say Bernd's been able to get the price down on it. So, although I've had it for a long time, it's now an appropriate time to make a video for him and help him sell some, because I do use it, and I use it regularly. This setup, I was very fortunate that Bernd showed me how he suggested to use the item. So this setup is the exact same as what Bernd showed me. Okay, so you would look and you'd think, right, it's a half moon pad. Importantly, the reason why it costs Bernd so much money is things like the firmness of it, the fact that you can strap it rigid to a bench. All of these are important, so don't try and make your own out of a half foam roller or anything like that. You want to get this one. Okay, so let's show you. One thing that Bernd did show me was you have to pinch your shoulder blades in to pull your scapula back and leave it there. So that's important. If you don't want to engage your shoulder too much, then pull your scapula back and leave it there. I'll show you a couple of exercises, a couple of my preferred exercises. So this was the original one that Bernd showed me. So pull your scapula back, set your position. This is a working weight. I can press a lot more weight normally, but we have to remember this is, I consider it like a bodybuilder's lift. So it's not an ego lift, it's the mind-muscle connection. So pull your shoulder blades back. I prefer the narrow lift on this. Pause at the bottom. Feel the stretch on my anterior delts and the clavicular fibers on my chest. And up. Now I realise already, people are going to say, would you be in danger of a pec tear or straining your rotator cuff? Well, if we address that quickly then, yes, potentially. If you haven't got huge range of movement or you've got issues with your rotator cuff, I consider this more like a prehabilitation thing. So, by performing exercises like this all the time, you're on the neck press, otherwise known as a guillotine press, then I enjoy very good range of movement, and also my rotator cuff is very strong at stabilizing me in positions like that. So with this, compared to a bench press, I would say bench press 3 times as much. So this is a sub-maximal load. So I'm doing it under huge control. So the stretch, control, and contraction is more engaging the muscles. So again, like the bodybuilder's technique of mind-muscle connection. Whenever I show anyone this in the gym, and Spreggy's filming this will be testament, I say bodybuilders of the 40s, 50s perform the same on a decorator's trestle. And I always get an unusual look. And then today I brought in a load of magazines from home, and amongst those magazines we have here 1946 copy of Health and Strength. Make sure you buy the modern day versions of Health and Strength, and you'll find yours truly with an article in there as well. So here we are, Norman Morris demonstrating a couple of exercises. This one here being a dumbbell press, very similar setup to what I've got on this camber bar. And this exercise I will show you. You notice he states developing your shoulders. So performing it like this, you do feel it on your anterior delts, but you engage your chest at the same time. So there we go, there's that one. Interestingly, in the same series of magazines, if anyone knows the Perillo benches or arch benches, here we are in a gymnastics hall, and we've got an arch bench. And then when I showed this to Spreggy on the back, I said, look, in suspension training is nothing new. So what we consider TRX now, here we are, Mr. Universe, Mr. America, Bill Pearl, performing, says about dips on the Roman rings, but also in a future magazine, it's got a whole chest workout on them. Okay, so I'll show you the other exercise. So this one as demonstrated in that magazine by Norman Morris. I'll sit forward on the bench because I've still got the barbell in position. So a bit like a fly, but I'm stretching out and up and above. So again, huge stretch on my anterior delt and the clavicular fibers of my chest. And again, this might not seem like a lot of weight, but we've just had a lad working with me at the gym before we shut, and he found 3 sets of 10 more than enough doing this. Okay, demonstrate that one. So, would I buy the bench? Yes, I would buy the bamboo pad. It's horses for courses, so not everyone will get on with it, particularly those if they like to lift heavy. If you've got an impingement, or you feel a discomfort doing it, I perhaps encourage you to do it as part of your rehabilitation, but again, you're certainly not going to go heavy, and that brings up the horses for courses thing. Some people won't get on with it if they've got pre-existing injuries. They make it a bit too difficult to do so. But there's other items as well, like I think what we'll do is sell this, people who use it alongside other items. So say for example, a lot of people here like using a fat pad. So in America, I know the fat pad's popular as well. So the opposite of that one is rather than bringing your shoulder blades back and clinging onto the bamboo pad, instead it stops you rolling around the bench. So basically a much wider, thicker pad, and it stops that shoulder roll around the bench. So I like playing with different stuff, basically. So that's another one to potentially look at. Okay?
Well,